Hi! I'd like to do a sketchbook tour, and this will be my first sketchbook tour, so I hope it goes well. I picked one that I didn't put a lot of pressure on myself on this particular sketchbook, and as a result I really enjoyed experimenting in it. And yeah, you'll have to excuse my voice. I'm recovering from COVID, so it's breaking up a bit, but sitting on the sofa all day and doing nothing or watching TV has driven me crazy, so I have to do something. So this will be my first. I'm not planning to do them in chronological order because I have loads of sketchbooks and a lot of them are in progress. I'm just this kind of messy artist that never follows a sketchbook to the end and gets distracted easily. Call it ADHD, call it what you want. But yeah, that's me. So I made this from like craft paper, and I made this sketchbook myself. So it was a craft paper, I think maybe cardboard from like what's it called? There's a piece of cardboard from some packaging that I didn't really need, and then I stitched it. So I think it's called Coptic stitch, but I might be wrong. Basically, I watched some YouTube videos and I made 5 mini sketchbooks inside, and then I stitched them all to the cover, and it looks like this. And I add dates. I'm trying to be good and not regret it later, basically. And I started labeling my sketchbooks just so I know when I started, when I finished, which is helpful. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see better. So let's start. And a lot of this sketchbook, like I said, it's going to be just fun drawings, so don't expect perfection. This one is definitely not it. A lot of them I drew for like drawing sessions, so yeah, it's just a fun little one. And I started last year, and low pressure, just drawing continuous line warm-ups, and that's the best way. Sometimes you just have to warm up. Fear of the first blank page, any blank page, is quickly overcome because it's low pressure and easy. And then I did my blob faces. I kind of moved on from the style of blob faces. This was my first thing that I was kind of maybe known for, so yeah, I feel like I've lost the ability to draw them very well, but I think with practice I can make them better again. To be honest, I didn't really care that much in this sketchbook. It was just something to do, and because they bled to another page, I decided to redraw the same blobs so they're matching shapes. It's just different faces, and I like this more, even though it's pencil. You can see how quickly I warmed up. And then that inspired me to do a few more, and these are more close to what I've been doing more recently, like square blobs. So yeah, this was fun, and there is a bit more blobs. Sorry for the noise, I'm just trying to make sure I'm staying in focus and everything. Learn on my mistakes. This one's I think it's a Caran d'Ache pencil, which didn't work as well because it's not as sharp a point, so I should have really kept it more sharp. And you can see I've been adding these pages in between just to protect them from bleeding to the opposite pages, because I hate that. Well, this didn't come out like anything, and even as an idea I didn't like it, so I scrapped it. It's like this Studio Tea Break on... Sorry, I'm just struggling with my voice. It's Studio Tea Break on Twitter, and they release daily prompts. I think it's daily, and I think once a week. It's like a mythical mashup, and yeah, didn't really work. This one was a DT Draw This In Your Style, and I didn't really like it. It's too close to the original, I think, so it was just a nice drawing. It's by Memoroli, I think. Lian 5K DTYS. PTIYS. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do any sort of abbreviations. Hate them. Okay, so this one. So on Artu's Discord we get daily prompts from the owners of the admins of the Discord, and this one was really cute. And this is where I've started like really enjoying kind of messy drawings. They're not really messy, but you know what I mean, like messy lines kind of thing, more loose, I guess. And then there was this one, and I often don't draw on the opposite pages because they, especially on like this was, oh yeah, I forgot to say, I used cheap printer paper, like the paper that I've had for ages and I don't even want to print on it. And you know what, I found use for it, and that's great. I made sketchbooks with it. So it's very thin, but it means that there's a lot less pressure when I'm drawing, and it just feels like I can waste paper. Who wastes paper anyway? It's just, you know, puts less pressure on me to be perfect. Some ideas. I think I've painted a few of them, and then I drew thumbnails later and tried to kind of come up with more ideas. And I can find this. Maybe. I kind of really like them. I should probably do my loose paper flip through. Just a few kind of ideas. I should probably do like a tour of my loose pages. This is also like a way of keeping it low pressure, so I cut up a slightly okay watercolor paper, and then I painted on both sides as well, just to, you know, because precious paper. Not that it is, but that's just how my brain works. I get precious about it, and it feels like I'm wasting a lot of it, but there's loads of it, so I probably do a tour of that too. Treat it as a sketchbook. It's definitely worth a couple sketchbooks paper, so let's do that at some point. So yeah, these were just thumbnails for it, just a few ideas. I'm really bad with thumbnailing. I just usually just go straight for it. And if I don't like something and I really want to draw it again, I'll just keep drawing it. But thumbnails are really cool because you don't waste so much time and effort. You can work out compositions and like decide what works before you do the actual piece. This really speaks to me. I had a phase of drawing coffee pots and mugs and things like that, but mostly like these cute items. I don't really know, is it a coffee pot or teapot? Not sure, but yeah, I really like it. Maybe I should turn this one into a print because it's really me. So I should maybe immortalize it. I was also drawing like lots of rabbits and hares, and I have a dedicated sketchbook, and I meant to do like 100, but I never finished it, so another one that's not finished. Some notes from the Creative Pep Talk podcast, and then some drawing. I can't remember if this was a drawing session or not, but there you go. I used a reference for this. Most of these I've drawn from references, and you know, like I wouldn't necessarily sell this or anything, so it's okay, I think. I should really credit more often. I try to, at least. This is one that I've painted, and then I think this is my original idea. I painted it, and then I decided to draw it again or something like that. Then some hand drawings. I might have stolen these hands from someone else, but they're just hands, and they're just practice as well. And I noticed that one of the hands, maybe this one, is incorrect. For, you know, a hand will never look like this. Like this is where the thumb is, not the small finger. So yeah, That's why I put the wrong side there. I was trying to loosen up and draw grass. Looks like nothing, but it's practice, and it's okay because it's a low pressure sketchbook anyway. I think this might have been from like a famous painting, or maybe I was trying to recreate the style of like Monet. I will never know how to pronounce the names, especially French ones, in English, where I've learned them originally in Polish. Is just really confusing for my brain, so I no longer know how to say it. But you know, the famous painter. And then the same avocado plant again. I think it's avocado plant. And then again trying to like draw loose. And more trees. This one I think I drew from a few different references, and then I've kind of changed them. So this is more of an original piece. Don't know if you can see very well because of the glare. It's just some trees. So I was trying to like not be so, you know, copyless and do more of a mixing thing. Some blobs without the colors. Blobs without the blobs, just random shapes, I guess, that I was trying to fill. This one was a hand with a flower, and it just really did not work, but the reference was really beautiful, so props to me for trying. It didn't really work. Some kids in the woods. More rabbits or hares. Who knows what they are. Just practicing. And these are the nice blobs, so you can see like they're much better than my starting ones, but they're not that far off, are they? Like squares. I'm also working on a massive piece which I need to go back to, which is like a whole A3 page of these drawn on paper, and then I'm going to look for a scanning place in town and try and turn it into an actual print. But yeah, look at these cuties. Like, they're crazy, fun. I really like drawing them. So yeah, this bleeds a lot, which is why I keep adding paper in between the pages all the time. Yeah, I just keep moving that paper so that nothing bleeds. Oh dear. It's my boyfriend writing with a pen, fountain pen. A few plants, just fun drawings. These I think are definitely from references and they didn't really work. This is a session with Archu, the drawing. I think they're called Sketchbook sessions, and they're on Patreon and Discord, and we just get together. If you're a Patreon, you're allowed to take part. So this was like a blind drawing where you don't look at the paper and you don't take the pen off the paper throughout the drawing. Another one, sometimes I'm too quick with those, I don't know why, patience maybe. So yeah, that's another one. I really like this one, it's really fun, really difficult as well subject, but I don't think it turned out too bad. This one's is it ravens, crows, and a bit of watercolor. I think it was like a pencil, watercolor pencil, and then I added water. I might be wrong though. Then I think this is a new thing now. Some references from somewhere. Oh wow. I think this was supposed to be Ghibli. Did not turn out very well, did it? Some notes from Stephen Fry's Inside Your Mind podcast. Really cool podcast. If you're into brainy stuff, this is really fun. Some more faces. This looks like something I maybe copied from somewhere, but these are more like my ideas. Not great, but fun. More blob faces. Look at the banana man. I have a feeling that they're like faces I drew elsewhere. They're all my ideas, pretty much. And then I kind of copied them again and again, just for fun. Another, I think, drawing session. Hey, maybe not drawing session. Maybe it's just references from art too. Yeah, I kind of gave up on these because I didn't like how they turned out. I've since learned how to not give up and keep going until it looks a bit better. Because like, look at this face. It's not bad. The rest of it is bad, but I think if I stuck to it, it would have turned out okay. Some eye studies. I really need to do more of those because I want to improve at drawing. Even though I don't really tend to do realistic drawing, I think it's fun to know. And it helps inform your drawings, even if they're cartoony. And you know, from time to time I do draw realistically, or try to. Some Star Woman. This kind of reminds me of Anne of the Green Gables, even though I don't think it is supposed to be. Yeah, just a character. I think it's a ballpoint pen, or maybe a fine liner. Really not used to drawing with these mediums, so it's not the best. A single line drawing of that same reference, and somehow it turned out better. Maybe because it's more loose. Mushrooms. I love these mushrooms, as in eating them deep fried. I think it's the kind that you can eat, but don't quote me on that. It's just my really bad limited knowledge. Some pots again. Love these colors. More portraits. Again, I'm getting there, but yeah, my portraits still need a lot more work and practice. This kind of did not work. Everything's lost. Hey, I tried. Some ideas for a good palette to, I think this might be for gouache, so that I would remember what to get. I don't think I got all of those, but it's from one of the videos I watched about gouache, I think, and which colors go well when mixing together. Portrait, really not straight eyes. But hey, fun times. Trying to loosen up a bit. I copied this as a study. Did not, I think I wasn't feeling it. Hey, another drawing session. So I think the previous ones where I haven't put that they were drawing sessions, it was just me drawing single line drawings, but this is a blind drawing and another blind drawing. Hey, there's more. What a funny man. This, I'm not quite sure what this was or who it was supposed to be. Look at these teeth. These teeth. Ooh, this I drew in a restaurant. And I think this was my boyfriend drawing, maybe. And this was me drawing what bled through to the page. You know, like when you press the pen too much. Anyway, it's not even fun to watch. One of the references again. Trying to learn to draw mouths, because they are really hard for some reason. And I envy people who can draw them. And actually, I just need to practice more. Because this one looks pretty good. I just need to practice it so it becomes more natural. some references. I don't really know. I think I was running out of ideas, and also I used really cheap pencils, which you can see I didn't really enjoy. I like the colors, but I don't like drawing with them. Yeah. Some brush pen drawing. Oops. Cuts. Kind of like this cut. Birds. Nope, not feeling it. That's a cutie. Yeah, you can see I was just trying like so many different things in this sketchbook, and I'm really glad I did, because it was fun. Maybe I was supposed to finish it, but I didn't feel it again. Bad portrait. No, it's not the worst. And I drew mouth. Hey. More reference drawing. Cute cat. That turned out a bit evil looking. Creepy. A rabbit. The reference was so cute. And I only like it because I remember the reference. A mouse. That was kind of a fun experiment with all the neon stuff I have. Happy New Year and all that. 3, 2, 1, and the sketchbook is done. So this is the piece that I kept moving. You can see how much bleed is on it. I just use it. Kind of, if I draw on this page, I would just stick it here and let it bleed on this paper instead of the next page. I learned that the hard way. So this is my sketchbook. I really love this. It looks great on my bookshelf where I keep all my sketchbooks. That's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you liked seeing this and whether you'd like to see more, or I mean, even if you just like this video, I will know that you've enjoyed it and I can make more of them. I definitely have plenty of sketchbooks to go through. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and make sure you check out my channel, see what's out there, and subscribe if you like to see more of it. And also please check out my sorry for the notifications. Check out my Patreon as well. I also have an Etsy shop where you can find a lot of my art. I have 2 Etsy shops, one for stuff that's a bit more like jokey like this, and another for more fine art, cyanotype printing and that kind of stuff. So yeah, until next time.